Welcome back to another video here with Invest for Tomorrow. Until the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. To all the subscribers, welcome back. I'll ask from return this video to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video. Helps out the YouTube channel and lets me know you appreciate the time and effort I put into making these videos. Now, in this video, we're going to discuss Wish Stock and Clover Health Investments, right? We got Clover Health Investments here and Wish Stock, some key levels to watch, what's going on with them, some key supports, some key resistance levels, and how they're the two favorite stocks right now that's being talked about in all different Reddit forums after having these pullbacks and what the potential is moving forward. But before we do, I want to share with you guys the home run of the day, and we're going to jump into these charts. So the home run of the day was spectacular, guys, and it was an individual stock. But before we focus on that stock, the true home run is the growth of the community, guys, because this home run came from the community and all the investors are learning and growing together, maximizing opportunities through the volatility of the market. And before we look at that stock, I just want to say the community has grown so much, and this is something you can become part of as well. I want to invite you to join us. The link is down below in the description to the Discord. If this is something that interests you, check it out, and we look forward to having you join us. So these are the stocks I mentioned, and then we're going to talk about the home run of the day. So I talked about LMFA and MDGS. Now, this was low on volume. If it didn't pick up, I wasn't going to follow it, but LMFA gave small jumps of 3 to 5%, 5 to 10%, a realistic expectation in the current market conditions. Now, the home run of the day was mentioned in the morning before 9:30, just a few minutes, and it was VRPX, FDA approval. Now, even though it just said FDA approval here in this message, investors quickly started brainstorming together to find more information on this stock, and they were watching it towards the bell. And as soon as it got halted, everyone was notifying each other in the chats and then also following it very closely, to the point that this home run was spectacular. I mean, we had investors making 10%, 20%, and even sharing how much they profited in numerical numbers, guys. So this was a phenomenal opportunity, and it came from the community. So before we focus on VRPX's chart, I want every single investor and viewer to be aware, watching this video, that today's home run is not an individual stock, but the whole entire community itself together, guys. And that is what it's all about. And that, for me, is a true home run. So this home run hit nearly almost 300% at its highest point. And the reason why it ran up so high is because it has a technology that just got FDA approved that can inhibit the spread of viruses. It's not specific what viruses, but it's a technology that is game changing when it comes to the spread of viruses and inhibiting them from spreading. And this came from the community itself. That makes it altogether a home run that is spectacular beyond what we can see in the charts, if not the growth within the community, and a community you can join. If you're interested, the link is down below in the description. We look forward to having you join us, and let's jump into the charts. So here we are with Wish Stock, ContextLogic Inc., WISH stock, and the stock continues to try to hold itself up from hitting new all-time lows, and the stock actually bounced right off the new all-time low of 657. I've talked about how important it is to watch between 650 and $6. If it was to break through 650, it got really close to it, bounced off of it, and ran nearly 10% plus to the highest point that it reached today, and the stock continues to fight within this channel. Right now, the fact that it's staying within this channel and consolidating is a true sign of strength. But if this goes anywhere more south from up here and even lower to the downtrend, hitting that 650 or between 650 to $6, we're going to have to watch this very, very carefully, because it could go into further weakness and it could start losing steam pretty fast, guys, because this has an analysis price target rating to the low side of $5, right? That's the lowest analysis price target rating, and the highest right now is between $15 to $19. So that is something to be aware of. That is something to keep in mind, and that is something to actually continue to follow carefully, right? Because we are at the bottom right now, but this has not found a bottom just yet, because it keeps on touching newer bottoms. And the question is, will there be another new bottom? Because the stock right now, from up here to down here, has moved slowly downwards. The question mark is, will it slowly move downwards and then peak up again and do another little peak here and continue that downward trend? And that's why we want to watch this very carefully between $6.50 and $6 to see if there's some strength to stay away as far as possible from the $5 range, anything between $5 and $5.99. Does anyone think that's really going to happen, or that is just a very bearish over exaggeration of that analysis price target? Because I think it possibly is already priced in here on this big pullback beyond earnings, because from $9 all the way to $6, that's a $3 difference. Earnings could have probably affected it $2, $2.50, and that extra $1.50 is coming from that very negative downside analysis price target. So I'm not saying it's impossible to go towards 5, but I feel like even though we've seen this big pullback, and yes, it could probably fight between $6.50 to $6, I think that this has still some strength here, and it won't go towards the 5s unless that analysis price target is pricing in a possible pullback of the overall stock market beyond what we've seen here because of earnings and the negative analysis price target ratings being downgraded, because there's still a lot that have been downgraded, but they're still pointing to the upside from these current levels. So that is something to be aware of, and that is something to watch. Well, let's go ahead and see here what's important. We already know 650 is important. Today's low is 657, and before getting to 657, there's a new support level here to watch this very carefully, and that's 686. I would watch how it reacts between 686 and 657, and then obviously 650 and so forth down to $6, how it's reacting within those areas, and if that even happens. Now to the upside, we want to go ahead and look here at the first resistance level, and it's the highest point reached in the day, and that is up here at 730, guys. 730 needs to be broken through and turn into a support, so this can push upwards to newer highs and new resistance levels. And the highest point we've seen in this bearish sideways action after that big pullback is right up here at 785. That would be the key level for the bulls to break through to then get closer to $8 and continue the bullish trajectory to the upside and continue to push up with momentum. Now, the stock has shown a lot of strength because every time it gets into the sixes, it runs right back up. And to me, it seems like there's some big players every time this is sitting around the $6 range that are loading up the boat, and then they unload some of it, or others are unloading when it comes back up. But there are some big players taking advantage of this area, because both times it touched it, look what happened. It ran. It touched it right here. It ran. And yesterday, it was a little bit above those levels, and nothing really made it run. Just this little exit right here, this little area. So super important to be aware that every time it's hitting the sixes, especially 650, 660, 670, there's some big whales loading up the boat, causing these big moves. And also keep in mind volume. I've told you guys this before. Watch volume very carefully. As long as it's below average volume, it's not really going to push too much up to the upside. Remember, this day that it ran so much, the average volume was around 50 to 70, and this had almost 200 million in volume. So the days that start picking up and going beyond average volume and picking up not with outflow but inflow, this stock may pick up with a reversal or some momentum to the upside, and we're going to have to watch and see how the bulls will react. So here we are with CLOV stock, Clover Health Investments, and it continues to show strength, guys, because every time it gets close to $8 or 790s range, it bounces right back up, right? We've seen it several times. Now, I stated in the previous videos how this was starting to look like bull traps. We wanted to pay close attention to that. I did not like the bar coding that was happening here, went into further weakness, and yesterday it started to run, and I had asked, are we seeing another bull trap, or is this real momentum here starting to form a staircase effect, right? Well, the thing that's actually happening is what I've talked about that we want to watch and actually see this stay within this channel and show some strength instead of going lower, closer to 750. A lot of investors have actually challenged me down below in the comments that this is not going to 750, that we're going to stay away from it, and it's gotten pretty close to it, but it hasn't reached it, right? So The lowest that we saw in this last bearish run after that run here that we had all the way up to $10 is down here at $7.95. If that gets broken through, I would significantly watch how this is reacting between $7.95, $7.60, $7.50, wherever it is that you want to watch it. And if it breaks through those levels of $7.60 or $7.50, excuse me, it's something to watch carefully how it reacts between that area and $7. Now, we haven't gone there and we're nowhere near it, and we're actually showing strength with this volatility of consolidation. And we're going to look at what key levels to watch going into tomorrow as this plays out. So obviously, the lowest point that we've seen recently is $7.95. That's our support. It bounced off of $8.02, so it didn't even get to the 790s today, but it just continues to show strength, right? So the first resistance level to break through is up here at $8.21. If that gets broken through, the bulls definitely want to turn that into a support to break away from it, reach newer highs, but it doesn't really tell us that the bulls have gained control, right? So the key level that the bulls want to break through, and they tried going towards this morning, is yesterday's high, and that is 857. They missed it by a few cents. 853, a rejection happened, and it went to the downside, right? So 857 definitely needs to be broken through so this can start pushing upwards, getting closer to $9, and then all the way up to 889, and then up here 924 being a significant resistance level as this pulled back and tried to recover, and the rejection started all over again from there. And it has been in a downward trend from these highs all the way down to this consolidation. We need to watch this carefully, and if by any chance it goes into downward pressure, 750 is a key point to watch in the chart, because if it breaks through it, it can go towards 7, and then if it breaks through 7, we need to watch it between 7 and the 52-week low of 631. Now, this stock has shown a lot of strength within this area, and if you really look at it, it hasn't really gone below the lows here of 769, 770 that we've seen before, right? So it's going to be super important to keep in mind that there's been so many opportunities here of small short squeezes of 10 to 20%, 10 to 15%, 5 to 10% in all these moves. But the fact is that right now the stock is fighting so much that every time it moves up, it doesn't continue with the momentum. If not, it actually loses it really fast. And I've called these areas here bull traps time after time after time. And we're seeing them in small shapes, big shapes. At the end of the day, it jumps up and comes right back down to where it all started. And that has been a strong support, but doesn't mean that it's a strong support that can't be broken. It's a strong support that needs to be watched. And as long as it stays above it, the bulls are in control. And all they need to do is overcome the shorts, force the shorts to become bulls with them, push this up to the upside, and the squeeze that everyone's expecting or anticipating may start flourishing, right? As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with the friends so they can receive the insight as well. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.